Why is Gwen so fine? Hey there guys, welcome to our very first fan questions video where I'll be going through a few questions that have been submitted by you guys, the fans, on the community tab. Before we get into the video, feel free to shoot us a like and subscribe if you're new. First question is from Mafia Grim. Why and how did Ben take off the Omnitrix after Classic? So Ben Tennyson removed the Omnitrix between the events of Classic and Alien Force. The reason why is pretty much said in episode 1 of Alien Force. It was said that he did it because he wanted a normal life, so it was pretty much removed then, deactivated and kept in his little chest thing. How did he get it removed is a whole other thing. Based on what Gwen says in the episode, it was pretty troublesome. It could be that since he had already visited Azimuth in the Secret of the Omnitrix episode, he took a similar trip with Tetrax to Azimuth in order to remove it for good, and he just got to keep the clunky thing, as you know, Azimuth himself didn't really want it. A question from Tyler Goodman. When Ben cancelled the master control out of the Omnitrix, why didn't he try it again? In that moment when Ben did it back in the episode Back with a Vengeance, he did it so that Vilgax would have a challenge unlocking master control for himself, since the combinations seemed to be pretty random. Of course, Vilgax, being as obsessed about the Omnitrix that he is, already knew what the combinations would be, so it wouldn't have been an issue for him. The assortment of codes that are necessary for you to unlock the mode is something that Ben actually stumbled on accidentally and had no idea what to do to get it back, since he didn't know what he did to unlock it in the first place, and he never really unlocked it again for himself in the future. Why did the Ultimatrix turn green when Ben took it from Albedo? Well, the color of the watch is like purely a preference thing, and based on what I've seen, Ben manipulates the Omnitrix's symbol color in the exact same episode when he gets the watch itself. And if this tech can turn you into a universe-altering deity, I'm pretty sure that changing the overall color of the watch should be pretty easy. I don't know exactly what they might do, but those guys are Omnitrix experts, so they should know what it takes to change the color. How would Grandpa Max feel about the episode where Sandra and Carl find out about Ben's Omnitrix and grounded him? Well, I think Grandpa Max would probably believe that it might not be super reasonable, but he would probably respect their wishes, knowing that, you know, these are still Ben's parents. I think we had a similar situation in Destroy All Aliens where Ben got grounded and Grandpa Max told Ben that there is no point in saving the universe if you can't save your family. Essentially, he just respected their wishes and knew that he had to just take the grounding. How could No Watch Ben casually take off the Omnitrix and give it back to Prime Ben? The Omnitrix jumped onto No Watch Ben after Prime Ben disappeared from existence, since No Watch Ben had, you know, the most similar compatible DNA in the moment. In regards to why he could take it off so easily though, is probably because the watch hadn't truly bound itself to its DNA like what always happens to Ben after he has the watch on for a time. So the less time the watch has been on your hand, the easier it is to remove. Why is Upgrade purple in the reboot? Upgrade is purple in the reboot solely because it's a universe variant of the original Galvanic Mechamorph species. It's the same reason why our upgrades are green and Ben 23's upgrades are blue. It's a sort of randomized thing and just happened to be what color they got. What is the planet of Waybigs like? So the planet of Waybigs, there technically isn't really a planet of Waybigs, but these giants are normally very peaceful beings born from large cosmic storms. So no planet essentially, but I believe Toku stars are still super rare creatures, since we have never seen any natural ones besides the mutant Waybads. But no planets, cosmic storms, that's how they can come into existence. If Ben knew the override command to the Omnitrix, why didn't he unlock Master Control again and all the Omnitrix's features? Chances are he only knew them in order to remove the watch. Maybe it's what Azimuth did to remove it initially between the events of Classic and Alien Force, but chances are the voice activation for Master Control is something Ben doesn't know or something that only recognizes Azimuth's voice, so he probably wouldn't have been able to unlock it anyways. How did Big Chill get pregnant and what happened to the kids? So Big Chill became pregnant asexually, meaning that Big Chill became pregnant without having to physically mate with another member of its species. Along with the children, they're probably just out there in space chilling. I mean, I have no idea where exactly, but they're probably out there somewhere doing something. Why is Omniverse hated? I think after Omniverse premiered, it created one of the greatest divides in the fandom since Moses parted the Red Sea. And the drastic change from the more comic book, almost Justice League-esque art style to a style that's identical to classic Teen Titans had the fandom up in arms, which sparked the hatred for the show itself. Furthermore, I think the introduction of a few newer, forever popular aliens, but popular for the wrong reasons, also took a toll on what the fandom actually liked about the show as well. So I think that's why people hated Omniverse, but people are showing a lot more love to it, especially after Ben 10 breakdowns have been surfacing more and more as well. Why is Gwen so fine? I am hoping that you mean the adult Gwen, because I think both versions of Gwen in Alien Force and in Classic are pretty underage for you to be looking at them as fine. Overall, though, she does have a pretty good design, and she seems to be one of everyone's first redhead crushes, and I think it's probably pretty warranted. The appeal of Gwen Tennyson really comes down from a few things. It's definitely also because she is pretty intelligent and caring and cool overall. Beyond the she has 12 PhDs and is a master sorceress in her adult age. And don't get me started on the Ben 10K adult version of Gwen. She is bad. So yeah, those are a few questions that I decided to answer from the community tab. Feel free to comment some more questions that you may have about the show, and I'll do my best to answer them. And don't be shy, continue your YouTube binging with this video next.